Hey, what's up everyone on YouTube? Today I'm going to be talking about how to change your brake pads on your Honda Civic. This is a 94 Honda Civic EX, 1.6 two-door coupe. And what I'm going to be showing you is how to remove the two bolts that are in the back. Well, first of all, you need to take off the tire, so make sure you jack it up, put jack stands, cinder blocks, whatever works for you, just so it won't fall. And then you're going to have to remove the lug nuts, which is pretty simple to do. And once you have the tire out, then you have your brake caliper, your brake rotors, and your brake pads are in here. And these are the brake clips right here. But what you're going to need is a 17 millimeter socket and a ratchet. So what I like to use with the ratchet is a little lever on the back side of it. Just put it in here, create more lever in case the bolts won't come out so easily, but I don't think I'm going to have too much trouble with it, but I'm still going to use it. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab your tools, and then I'll put the little support lever in the back. And there's two bolts, one on the top part of the back and one on the bottom part of the back. And let's see if you can spot them from here. One of them is this one right here, where my finger's pointing, and then there's another one on the back side of it on the bottom there. But let me go ahead and remove it. Perfect. And so here, I'll do the first one on top first. I like to use a long socket just because you don't have to use an extension to get past this brake line that's right here. So let me go ahead and position the camera real quick. Perfect. And then just make sure that the ratchet is on the removal position, not the loosening position, not the tightening. And then you put this, and then you do it so it cranks it. There we go. You do it so it cranks it loose. You can hit it a little, be a little gentle. Alrighty, perfect. There we go. So that'll loosen up, and then you go move on to the bottom bolt, which is down here. Perfect. Give it a little love tap. Perfect. And now it's loose. And then after it loosens up, they're pretty easy to remove. So just get the socket and then just put it on the bolt, and then just lefty loosey, so it'll get loose. So I usually like to take off the bottom one first, and then I'll go on to the top one. So this is the bolt that'll come out. It's a 17 millimeter. It's not too long. And then just go ahead and put it to the side. Now to the top one. And then you just loosen it up. And that'll eventually come off. The brake caliper won't slide off or anything. It'll just stay in place. And then I'll show you how that is. Alrighty, so perfect. The second bolt dropped. It's the same one, same exact one, so they're interchangeable. And so now that you have that loose, you're going to pull the brake caliper off the rotor, the brake rotor, and then you can just go ahead and set it down like that. Just be careful. And then right here, in here holding it is, here, let me see if I can show you with the sun. You have your brake pads there. The reason I'm going to be changing mine is because the ones on my driver's side are a little cracked. This is my passenger side, and so I have limited lifetime warranty on them at O'Reilly. So I'm going to be going to take both on, well, the whole set, both on the front, back, so I can get a new set because my driver's side ones are cracked and they're making a screechy, scratchy noise. So the way to remove these is you just push them outwards, like so, and then slide them out, and then there you go. That's it. Here's one, and then here's the next one. And with this one of them will have a little bracket on the back, so you just slide it up like this, and then slide it out towards, because this bracket will get in the way if you try to slide it any other way. Perfect. So now what you can do is grab a piece of wire and tie it onto your upper control arm if you want, just to hold it here in place. Or you can just rest it here on top, and and nothing will get hurt or anything. You can just leave it right there, and then on to the next step on putting the brake pads. So I'm going to be going out to the auto parts right now, exchanging these, and I'll show you the installation process. Thank you. Alrighty, I went to O'Reilly and got my brake pads exchanged. Make sure to save your receipt. I ended up getting the brake Best Select Ceramic, and as you can tell, they're pretty They're pretty good now, no cracks or anything unlike the other ones. And so just make sure to match up the ones that go on each side. And so just remember or try to fit it in and make sure that it'll fit depending on how the caliper is curved. Alrighty, so these are for this side right here. And what I'm going to be doing is grabbing these adjustable pliers and then moving the piston a little inside, since I have new, since the calipers are new. Since the calipers are new, I'm going to try to grab the piston that's on this side and try to compress it in, because we need the extra room for the extra brake pad, braking ceramic part on the brake pad. Sorry. So you're gonna compress the piston right here. So you're gonna see that it goes in. I don't know if you can see it right there. And then you squeeze it little by little like that, just to make room for the new paste that the new brake pads have. So you do that, and then you just put those on the side, and then now it's time to go ahead and put the brake pads. So just make sure that its installation is basically reverse of what the removal was. So you're gonna make sure that it gets on the clips. You slide them in, and so this one's not working in my favor. There we go. You slip it in like that. So you slip it in like that, and now the bottom part right here, you're gonna have to push this clip on the edge right here down, and then that way the little part right here on the brake pad will fit in. So if you can grab a screwdriver and then push the clip down like so, and then just push the clips off to the side until it slides in. And so make sure that your gloves or hands don't have grease, because when you're touching the brake pad, you don't want any of that on the brake pad. Perfect. So like that, and then it'll slide in place on its own when it's fully in there. Perfect, like that. Great. And then this brake pad will fit on the piston right here. Perfect. So it'll fit on the piston, and then you grab the other brake pad, and then you put it on the other side, making sure that it fits on the top brake clip and on the bottom. And then just for this one, I'll also use the screwdriver to move the metal clippings to the side, and then so it'll make room to hold the brake pad in place. Perfect. So keep doing that, and then until it slides in place. Alrighty, now that the brake pads are in place like that, they sit flush on the edges. Now you're gonna rest it over the brake rotor disc like that, and then you have to make sure that the holes for the caliper and the holes for the brake assembly match up. And you're gonna grab your 17 millimeter bolts and then slide the one on the top and the one on the bottom. You kind of wiggle it around, make sure that it fits. There, the first one went in. Now for the second one, and then just find the hole on the bottom, and you put it in there. And then this usually requires that you move the brake, the caliper a little bit there. And now both of them are going in. And so you can hand tighten these, hand tighten them, and then you're gonna use the socket and wrench. Socket and ratchet to tighten it up. So now you grab your 17 millimeter, make sure that it's on right tightening, and then you just make sure that they're nice and snug on there. Perfect. Make sure that they're not going to fall out while you're driving. That would not be good. Perfect, like that. They're nice and tight. Now what you're going to do, the installation on the other side is pretty much the same thing, basic thing. Now you just put your tire over this, and then put your lug nuts, and then tighten it, and then lower your car, and then just finish tightening your lug nuts by rolling your car around just so the tires can sit. But yeah, that's the basic installation of the brake pads. It's pretty easy. In case you did need to replace your rotor disc while you have the brake caliper assembly out, what you're going to do is use impact screwdriver, and then hit these 2 screws that are right here to loosen them up, and then you take those out, and then as the brake caliper assembly is out of the way, the brake rotor disc should slide out, and then you can put the new one in, and then put the screws back in place. Perfect. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Goodbye.